Hey, this is Benj Gardenguy out here in my backyard. Got my no dig, no till garden down there. And today I'm going to show you one of spring's best gifts to all of us gardeners. And that is what I call spring gold. Spring gold, alright. Wonder if you can guess exactly where that spring gold is. Got a little area back here, you know, you got my trees back there, bushes, my garden, the mulch and all that stuff. Spring gold is right there. Boom. Kaboom. That grass right there, those clippings. That's what I call spring gold. It's brown and green and it doesn't look so awesome, but it is awesome. That stuff is a powerful punch of awesome fertilizer. I'm serious. Springtime grass or just lawn clippings that are clipped from, you know, you don't want to have your lawn clippings that have been treated with herbicides or with fertilizers or any pesticides. Probably herbicides would be the main thing. Don't use clips from that because you never know what you're putting into your body whenever you put that kind of material into your garden. But this material here, of all the times of the year to be gathering these clippings, springtime is the best because what's happening is all these plants in the yard, especially if it's like a mixed yard where there's clovers and all kinds of bunch of, you know, weed plants, all that kind of thing. So what's happening here is in the springtime, these plants are shooting out all of a sudden. They're using stored up energy that they had from the winter time, whether that's in root structures or seed structures, but they're just shooting up real quick and all of their energy is going in towards, boom, they want to produce a nice flush of leaves. And those leaves are going to be what grows the structure, the amount of energy, nutrients that they need to be able to produce those seed heads. Oops, dropped my rake here. So those seed heads are going to be later on what all of that energy is being used towards. Because all these little plants, they want to reproduce, they want to grow themselves, reproduce themselves. So we're talking about basically right now in the springtime, most plants are pushing out all kinds of leaf structure. Right now plants are essentially making like a funnel for all that light and nutrients to come into their root structures, and then from there they will use that energy to produce seeds. Okay, so right now you have grass that doesn't have many seeds in it, not many weed seeds yet, and it is packed with tons of nutrients. It's high density of nutrients. So if you gather your grass right now and you put that onto your garden or in your compost, you're gonna have the highest density. You know, farmers have been doing this for a long time too with their calving times or whenever their goats have their kids, when the lambing times, they try to time it to where the babies are going to be born in the spring right now, so that those animals can benefit from the high protein and high nutrient content and mineral content of all of the grass that comes in the spring. But as gardeners, we can benefit from that too. So my recommendation is go out there whenever you mow, try to rake up what you can and use that around your plants. I already gathered some here. Here's my stuff. And you know, I don't really have anything to put it out there, but over here, see right here, I've got some stuff coming up. I can use this right down the middle of the row. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome. You can just put it right through there. And it's like a fertilizer, and by the time this is decomposing, which should be in probably about 2, 3, 4 weeks, that will be putting, boom, fertilizer right here when these plants actually need it. So it's pretty cool. You can go ahead and fertilize your plants, and by the time they actually need it, which is usually, you know, what I mean by need it is by the time they're producing the fruit, whatever you're getting from your crop, whether that's, you know, tomatoes, peppers, squash, whatever it's producing, that's when it needs the most nutrients, the most minerals. That's whenever this is broken down enough to where it's plant available. So I do like to gather spring grass clippings Put them wherever you're going to use them. I like to put them fairly thick, you know, 2, 3, 4 inches, and they'll decompose pretty quickly actually because of the high density there. All the microbes are going to eat them up quick. But yeah, it's a fun way to fertilize in a cheap way. But just make sure you gather this stuff from lawns that have not been treated with herbicides. This is really going to turn into some awesome stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to take most of it though over to my compost bin and use it in there. But yeah, this even looks good. See that? It's pretty cool. It's also a fun thing to do with your family, with your kids. I mean, you can go out there with the rakes, just rake up a bunch of good grass. To carry it around, I like to use either a wheelbarrow or a tarp. Just put it on a tarp. I don't have enough right here for a tarp, but if you do have a whole lot of clippings, then go ahead and use a tarp. It's easier to carry it around like that. It's good stuff. Good stuff right here, good stuff. This compost pile is one that I already know has all kinds of weed seeds in it, and I try to keep some of my compost separate. So this one over back here, that doesn't have any weed seeds in it that I know of. This one here though is just a conglomeration of different material that I've used up around the house. I've added to it, kitchen scraps, all that kind of stuff. It's like a cold compost bin or bed. And this one is where I'm putting the grass clippings because I think probably, even though it's springtime, there's probably going to be some grass seeds or weed seeds in this. I don't want to put those into the garden. Actually, what I just did over there was for showing you. I'm probably not going to keep that area having all kinds of grass on top, because in this no-dig garden I've really tried to keep it weed free and have this layer on top of decomposing material that doesn't have weeds in it. It's all wood based stuff breaking down, like wood chips, you know, leaves, needles, twigs, all that kind of good stuff. So on that over there, I was showing you what I would do if I had a garden where I was trying to suppress the weeds, but I didn't already have a good layer of decomposing material that doesn't have weeds in it. I really don't want to protect that garden of weed seeds, because I always try to keep that layer, that top layer, free of weed seeds. And when you do that and you keep on building on the top of the soil, you're not digging up new weed seeds every time you till. So I'm not going to till this garden. It's a no dig, no till garden. So in the name of protecting those little fellers over there and not getting weed seeds into that garden, I'm going to compost the majority of this grass right here. And when I want to use this material for my plants, I will dig back that surface 5-6 inches I have of decomposing compost and wood chips. I will dig that back and then put this compost that I already have here, which has weed seeds in it most likely, but also it's packed with nutrients. And I'll put that in there, then plant into that, and then I'll come back in with this type of compost or what's already here and put in that, you know, cover that back up to where those weed seeds are not exposed. That's the key, is to not expose those weed seeds to the light and to the potential to take over again. All that being said, let's mix this together and we'll make this cold compost pile that much happier. One quick tip for you is whenever you're doing your cold compost piles, you know, the ones that you just gradually add to, I like to at the end sprinkle an inch or two of wood chips on top. Just sprinkle it all on top after you've added a considerable amount of whatever you're adding, and then that will lock in a lot of the moisture content, and it'll mean that everything else inside is breaking down that much faster and that much better. It just like gives it a little blanket. There you go. That's how you do it right there. Now that springtime garden gold is doing the trick. Oop. Yep, thanks y'all for watching this video here. If you liked what you see, please subscribe. Yep, there you go. Good stuff there. We're creating plant food right now. Yep, so yeah, y'all use that springtime material that you're getting out of your yards if you can. Your plants are gonna love it. Just remember, it probably has some weed seeds in it, so maybe be careful to put it wherever you've really pulled out all the weed seed material. But other than that, enjoy the springtime. I am loving gardening this spring. It's been so fun. Edible landscaping is doing great. I'm enjoying the process of transforming landscapes for people and incorporating those edibles, incorporating those beneficials with the flowering plants, and just really beautifying spaces and helping families grow their own food. It's fun. It's very, very fun. So yeah, that's what I do, edible landscaping, gardening. That's why I'm making these videos, so that you guys can do your own gardens. You can incorporate all of those things that we're all learning here and keep on sowing and growing, keep on having fun. And it's so important that our generation, the younger generation, the older generation, that we know how to grow food, and that we know how to also make it a beautiful, enjoyable experience. It's gonna be work, there's work to it, but there's ways to do it that works with nature, with creation, rather than against. And that's what I'm all about, is figuring out how can we do this, how can we grow food in a sustainable, beautiful, and functional way that's natural. It's not against nature. All right, enough said. Keep on sowing and growing. Catch you guys next time on the Gardenguy channel, where we transform spaces to edible and beautiful abundance. See ya.